Today we have a lot of subscriber, viewer requested questions, and the topic here is research notes familiar topic. Research notes familiar topic. What the heck is that? That sounds weird, right? This is actually requested by, I hope I say your username right, Abdul Malik Hakami. Correct me if I'm saying that wrong, guys. So he literally said those are so weird, yeah, in capital letters. And I got a sample, and I made this for you guys. So very new to the digital SAT is at the end of the reading and writing section, we have a few questions that is like, the student took some notes while researching a topic, and we have a variety of questions. Out of those, specifically, we have, as you guys can see here, introduce, familiar, okay? So the last like 3 to 4 questions are on the notes, and in the notes we have familiar introduction type of question. So this specifically asked, and like, you know, he even DM'd me the sample of the question, so thank you. So we're going to get right to this. And as always, these are pretty quick and easy. They are weird though, they are pretty weird. I don't know why they even made these. Okay, so I made all of these references. If you guys recognize the watch references, good for you, fellow watch nerds. So we have all these bullet points. Do I care about those bullet points? No, I never do, right? As you guys know very, very well at this point, just go to the question. As I said before, you notice that it's introduced, familiar introduction. Why am I emphasizing familiar introduction? There's also unfamiliar introduction, okay? So we're gonna do that soon. So familiar introduction. Which choice most effectively uses... Okay, this part doesn't even matter. It's always the same. Okay. So what am I doing? I'm introducing John Miner's book. Okay. So where is the John Miner's book? Third bullet point. This is the book. So I need to first introduce John Miner's book. So I need to get rid of all the choices that don't have the book. So A is out because it doesn't have the book. So the title of the book is, it sounds dumb because I made it up, Famous Ritz and Brzezinski. So that's not in A, so we take it out. And so we have B, C, and D left. Then next, familiar with Brzezinski watch. Familiar with Brzezinski watch. So that means I don't need to describe what Brzezinski watch is, okay? So C is just telling us what was the launching of Brzezinski watch. I don't need to know anything about it, okay? So if I say familiar with whatever, that means I don't want any information on that thing, okay? So it sounds a little bit counterintuitive, but just follow along. If it says familiar with blank, then my answer choice should have as little information on that blank as possible, okay? So the answer is either B or D. Okay, let's see. Which one would be better? As always, guessing time, you know, a little door explorer time. I did not pause. I did pause myself. I always do that. Okay. So what do you guys think it is? B and D, they both kind of sound like they introduced the book, right? So how can we differentiate between the two? Well, you're like, oh, Jay, didn't you say you could obey it? Yes. Why? Because what does D have again, guys? I really wish I could hear you guys. Oh, we should do a live soon. We should do a live soon. 1,000 subscribers are coming up. We're going to do something. I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do, but maybe a live, something. If you guys have suggestions, what you guys want to see, let me know. Okay, so back to this question. How come we can eliminate D based on what I just taught you today? Yeah, it's telling us about the blog. I don't want to learn about the blog. Why? Because I'm already familiar, okay? So if I were to do, okay, guys, today we're going to learn about the SAT, which is a test you have to take to get into college. I don't need to say that. You guys all already know that. That's here on the channel, right? So the answer here is B. Okay, so notice I didn't actually have to look at what is a proper introduction of the book. Why? Because we got rid of A, it didn't talk about the book, okay? We got rid of C and D. Why? Because it talked about stuff that was already familiar. So that's it, guys. So the familiar introduction, even though it is super weird, all caps, is pretty easy to do. So you just need to get rid of all the stuff that has stuff about familiar things, and then get rid of the things that doesn't introduce. So the answer here is B. John Miner's Famous Ritz and Brzezinski covers celebrities whose watch collections were featured on the blog during the pandemic. None of these things actually exist. I made them up, but doesn't really matter. Okay, guys? So we're going to just keep going through these types of questions, and we're also going to do cross-text questions pretty soon. Why? Because you guys asked for them. So what does that mean? You guys should keep asking so I can cover exactly what you guys need. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Study every day with Sexy J. My wrist is still fractured, but I'm still working on these things for you guys. See you next time.